you have already heard about or heard of the concept of staying on code as a black woman, and that you know what it means to stay on code, which is why I'm not going to explain it here, like the definition. I'm not going to get into what it means to stay on code. And I am afraid that you may have already seen multiple videos on it. Well, let me backtrack. I am not afraid that you may have seen multiple videos on this topic, but I do not want to be repetitive. So if you feel like you don't really need to hear this message, then you can, of course, feel free to skip this one and hopefully tune in my next to my next video. I would appreciate that if you could come back. But if you choose to still be here, then that is fine as well, and I thank you very much. Yes, and also before I get into the video, I would like to quickly shout out Paris Milan. She is a black American YouTuber who creates content that is catered to black women, and I find it so, like, her channel is a really, really good one. I would recommend this channel, so if you haven't checked her out, I would definitely advise you to do so. Again, her name is Paris Milan. Paris like the capital of France, and Milan like an Italian city. But I also have to say that she's kind of, I want to say she does not really sugarcoat some of her messages that she has, which personally I find it to be a good thing, because the truth is not something that is always meant to feel someone up. It's not something that is meant to make you feel good, basically, right? Like, the truth is the truth, whether you like it or not, whether it is something that is hurtful or not. Unfortunately, the truth can be hard to swallow sometimes. But again, check her out, she's amazing. Now that you're here, I would like for you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. And the last one. I want you to relax your mind, relax your body, relax your soul. I am telling you to relax because I want you to prepare for what I am about to say. Again, keep your eyes closed and relax. And tell me when being a black pick-me girl has ever sincerely benefited you. I want you to think about it. When has being a pick-me ever truly benefited you? Tell me. I will wait. Everyone can tell when you are being a so-called pick-me. Trust me, everyone can see it, and some may even use it for their own advantage. I want you to think about the summer of last year. The time when the movement was happening, the BLM movement. It was happening all over the some of you guys, or I'm assuming most of you guys, or all of you guys may know, I am located in Europe. And in many European countries, people were marching. People were marching on the streets in the name of George Floyd, in the name of police brutality, racism. I want you to think about all of the black women who came in defense for black men. All of the black women who were severely harmed during those protests. They were shot at with rubber bullets, sprayed with pepper spray, and as a result, had to go to the hospital. All of the black women who have lost their lives during one of these protests, in which they were participating in. I want you to think about the little 8-year-old girl who was in the car with her mother, and they happened to drive into one of these protests. It was unintentional. She was trying to get out of there when someone shot into the car and killed her 8-year-old daughter. Tell me, why you do not want to save yourself the embarrassment of showing up and showing out for black men publicly, yet remain to be the butt of their jokes. Is it because you see your son, your brother, your father, your husband, your boyfriend, your best friend, your grandfather in these black men? Ask yourself, how come that these very same men you are fighting for do not see their daughter, sister, mother, wife, girlfriend, female best friend, or their grandmother, when a dark-skinned black woman is being thrown into a dumpster, when a black woman is being attacked with a skateboard or harassed online for her physical appearance. I will tell you why. I want you to take a deep breath for this one. It is because they do not care about you, about your feelings, about your problems. Even the quote-unquote good black men stay silent when those things are happening to black women, especially when they're happening online. Oh my gosh, I apologize. That was my mother. As I was saying, these good black men, they witnessing all of these attacks, they choose to be silent. How come the baby was cancelled for his horrific comments directed towards the LGBTQ community as well as the AIDS and HIV community? Yet, he got away with physically attacking a black woman. How come Dua Lipa, Elton John, Demi Lovato, Madonna, and more celebrities are now condemning him publicly in relation to his remarks towards both communities, yet kept quiet when the news of him attacking this black woman came out? He should have been cancelled back then. How come the very talented R&B singer Chrisette Michele was cancelled by black people for singing at the inauguration of the US President Donald J. Trump, yet Kanye West was seen wearing the infamous Make America Great Again hat and hanging out with Donald Trump on multiple occasions, multiple times. And also, he's always being given the benefit of the doubt, for all of his problematic antics. I am guessing that by now you may have understood that I'm pointing out the hypocrisy that I'm seeing, that I have been noticing for a very long time now. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of hypocrisy. And a lot of blatant dislike, as well as even hatred for black women that many black men seem to have. And what is so interesting about it is that it is not only a black American thing, unfortunately, where you do have this, what appears to be, I want to say, disconnect. And correct me if I'm wrong. You can always correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But from what I have seen from the videos of Paris Milan, or even Chrissy, who is another black YouTuber, she also makes great content, although I have to admit that I do not always agree with everything that she has to say. Well, same goes for Paris Milan. I do not always agree 100%, but both of them make very valid points when it comes to the relationship between black men and black women, but specifically what they talk about is the black community that is in America. I can tell you guys that the very same issue that you are facing overseas is something that I have witnessed in Germany as well, that my relatives in Belgium, in the UK, and in France seem to have noticed as well. The colorism and the anti-blackness and the dislike for dark-skinned black women is an international thing, unfortunately, you guys. It issues you guys are facing overseas, like I said, are the same that we are dealing with here. But I just choose to no longer engage in the fights for black men. I do not go out and protest in the name of black men, because when something happens to a black woman, we unfortunately do not get the same energy. And I think that it is important for me to point out that I am in no shape or form trying to beg black men to reciprocate the energy. I, as a black woman, and you as a black woman, well, if you are a black woman listening to it, you need to listen carefully. Take your ears and listen carefully to what I'm about to say. And take a deep breath. We as black women do not have to beg black men to come out and protect us. We are not going to beg anybody to come out and protect us. Yes, it is unfortunate that we seem to be the only group of women of a race that whose men do not protect us as a whole, like in society in general. I mean, you guys see it in the media all the time, how black women are being made the butt of black men's joke, how they will joke about a dark-skinned black woman being the come-up, being the James Brown that they had a child with. And then once they upgrade and get to that other level and have a different socioeconomic status, they now have a lighter skinned woman, a biracial woman, or a mixed race, or simply a white woman, as their significant other, and they do not look at dark skinned black women at all anymore. And so what I have to say to this is simply, and again, go to Paris Milan's channel and you will find plenty of videos that talk about it, and she articulates everything very, very well when it comes to this issue. But for me, it is very clear, the picture is very clear. Those men, including the quote-unquote good black men, not showing up to the rescue of black women, it tells me everything I need to know about where black women, and specifically dark-skinned black women, stand within the black community. Also, when I say black, I do not mean biracial, and I don't mean multiracial or mixed people. I mean black women. Two sets of black parents. That to me is what a black person is. Yeah, so that's what I have to say to that. And I guess my biggest message would just have to be that you need to save yourself the embarrassment. For real, you look stupid, and I'm sorry, I don't like to call people stupid, to use that, but we do look stupid when we come for the rescue of people who wouldn't even spit at us if we were on fire. We look dumb, we look very silly, it's embarrassing, and we need to change that. I don't want black women, I don't want us out here looking stupid. I'm sorry guys, I just don't. Then also, clearly they do not care about us, they don't care about our feelings, they only see themselves. And we need to stop thinking of every single black man that is being or harassed or I want to say, yeah, just attacked. We need to stop looking at every single one of them as our son, our brother, our father, our friend, because that is not the case. Show up and show out for the black men that are in your life that you know. Do that, because those very same people don't see their sister or mother or aunt or grandmother or daughter in us, in black women. Again, specifically, if you are dark skinned, they don't care. So why do we care? What is it about black men? Is it because some of you think that in order for us to fight the injustices that are happening in this world, in this Western world, we have to unite and we have to stick to them. We have to stick together. That is so interesting because there is no unity. There is no unity. In order for us to be united, every single person within the community, there needs to be a mutual respect for one another. At least there needs to be a mutual respect. In an ideal world, there would be a love, a love for each other, but that is not the case. It is not. See, when you look at the white community, when you look at Asian communities, even Muslim communities, even for me, like growing up in Germany, we have lots of Turkish people here, and so I grew up around Turkish people as well. I'm not gonna get into like who I grew up with and who I didn't, because I want to say that the way I grew up, it was very mixed-ish, like plenty of different nations, different nationalities, different ethnic backgrounds. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that you do have lots of Turkish people in Germany, and what they tend to do is they have this unwritten rule that basically states that no matter what, at the end of the day, when shit hits the fan, the Turkish people are going to stick together. And I feel like this is what white people are doing as well. When shit hits the fan, white people will stick together. They will make sure that they will advance together before they leave. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this is now my brother. Sorry, you guys. We have visitors over here. All of them were tested. None of them have the COVID, but we have visitors. So, I'm right next to the guest room, and it's basically, I don't have my own room right now, and so sometimes you may hear someone in the hallway, and I apologize for the background noises. My apologies. That will be fixed within the next few weeks. Again, but what I was saying though is that at the end of the day, all races know how to stick together. It's kind of an unwritten rule, or at least that's what it appears to be. But when you look at the black community, it is very, very obvious that, especially coming from the black men, that there's just no loyalty towards black women, right? Everyone else has this loyalty, but when it comes to the black community, and again, it is everywhere, literally everywhere, you guys, there's just this one-sided loyalty coming from black women, and for that reason, I'm telling you that there is no unity. There is no unity. How are you going to unite if you don't even respect each other at the very minimum? musicians, musicians who have been proven to be colorists, people like Chris Brown, the Baby. I mean, what is going on? Like, why? What is it about those men that makes you want to embarrass yourself so badly? Like, I don't understand. Perhaps one of you can explain that in the comment section, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Then also, I believe that the time that we use to support these colorist and problematic black men, we could use these times, the time to elevate and promote ourselves. Like, for real, I want you to deep what I'm about to say. I think we focus on, and when I say we, I don't mean myself, like I'm excluding myself from that category, but we as black women seem to desperately want black men's attention and validation, and this is why you have people who are still supporting the Baby. You have people who are still supporting Chris Brown and all of these other very problematic black men, right? And I think that is a problem, and you need to look into yourself and thoroughly think about why that is. Like, why is it that I am looking for or longing for problematic black men's validation? Is it insecurity? Because if so, then you need to work on that. And I'm not, I forgot to put that in the beginning, but I was going to say I am not trying to attack you if you happen to be one of those black girls who, continue to support these problematic people. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to attack you. Perhaps my delivery may be a bit poor. I'm still working on it, but I'm just trying to tell you why it is better. It is the best thing for you to no longer support them because they don't care about you. Look at colorist black men as a hate group. That's what I do. Like, I am a dark-skinned black woman, and you would never see me supporting a colorist, actively supporting a neo-Nazi, a KKK member, or anybody, like anyone who is basically against me, against what I stand for, against who I am as a person. Never. I wouldn't support them. And I also, I don't enjoy the work of problematic people because I always have to think about the problematic things that they have done. It's always in the back of my mind. For example, if I listen to Chris Brown, which I don't because to be honest, I think the last time I was a fan of his was in, I want to say maybe in 2014, but as of today, I find his music very repetitive. It's not for me. I don't think he's that, I just don't think he's that good. But let's just say that I happen to, want to listen to a Chris Brown song. If I would listen to it now, knowing about, all of the colorist things that he has said, I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't. I would think of the problematic things. Those would be in the back of my mind. I guess another way to put it is, how sometimes you see very attractive people. Let's just say you're somewhere and you've met this stunning looking person. Let's just say a very handsome man. He's very handsome. And then you get to know them and you realize that his personality and his seriously, like, you should be convinced of the idea of it and why it is important for. Oh, that was my uncle, I think. Oh my god. But basically, you should be um convinced of the idea and why it's so important to stay on code as a black woman. It's because we want to save our image. We don't want to look stupid. We are always being disrespected, and I believe that it is because we allow it. We allow it without intentionally allowing it. We are subconsciously, like, look at the LGBTQ community, for example, and the baby, like what happened a couple of days ago. The baby is now being cancelled. You have people like Elton John, who is considered a legend in the music industry. You have people like him coming out and condemning the baby for his ignorant comments that he made towards the LGBTQ plus community and the HIV and AIDS infected community. And I want the same thing for black women. I want us to have the respect. People do not respect us enough, and this is why you have the baby slapping or putting his hands on a black woman and not be cancelled for it. This is why we continue to give awards to colorist people, people who have been proven to be colorist, people who are blatantly colorist. That's why. This is also why you see Tory Lanez, who is still able to go out there on Rolling Loud after allegedly, snapping a bullet into Megan Thee Stallion's foot or feet. I think it was both feet. I want the world to respect us, but it starts with us, guys. It starts with black women. We need to demand respect. You see, the LGBTQ plus community, the Jewish community, every other community, they demand the respect. But when it comes to black women, there's just no respect. Now, I will admit that when it comes to black people as a whole, I think especially, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just burped. I'm sorry. I'm still new to this ASMR, oh my god. But, yes, when, with the movement last year, the BLM movement, there were plenty of companies who came out in support of black people who were, now trying to diversify their companies and basically becoming quote-unquote woke. And yes, we can argue, that some of those companies, they only did it to save face. They were not sincere about it, but it worked. You have black people being hired, gaining an income because of what happened last year, because black people as a whole demanded respect. But then again, think about it. When it comes to black women, when it comes to the sector of black women, there is just no respect. There's no respect. We are being disrespected on an international level, you guys. And this needs to change. And we need to start being the change. We need to push. Just like the LGBTQ plus community, we need to take notes. We need to say, no, we do not tolerate this kind of disrespect. Stop streaming their music. Stop making them richer. Stop paying attention to them. Stop publicly supporting them or coming in their defense. They can hold their own. They are the men. And I hate to be sexist, but there's this saying that a man should be able to hold his own. But I guess I don't care if I'm being a sexist. It is what it is. I'm sorry, guys, but it should be the men. If you look at every other race, you will not see the women out here on the front lines, sacrificing their health, their life, risking being arrested at a protest. It is the men. It is the men. Yeah. Oh, and then also something that is a bit, I guess, controversial to say, but since those black men don't, and when I say those black men, I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about the colorist ones, the texturists ones, just the problematic ones, those who do not care about black women, specifically, again, dark-skinned black women. If they are in trouble, let their light-skinned women, their white women, their Asian women, basically let their preferences come out and fight the battle for them. Don't fight their battles. I'm sorry, this was a very sharp S. But don't fight their battles. Don't. They can handle their own. They don't care about us, so why should we care about them? We do not suffer from Stockholm Syndrome. We don't. We simply don't. Okay, I got a bit aggravated. I don't know how long this is going to be, but it was something that I really wanted to get out there. And I hope that I can at least wake one of you up. If you are this one single black woman who listened to what I had to say, hopefully you understand that no matter how you twist it and turn it, black women, we are on our own. We really are. And we need to stop fighting for everyone else and think, we need to become a bit more selfish and think of ways in which we can advance our own image, in which we can promote ourselves, elevate ourselves, and only pay attention to ourselves when it comes to those types of things, So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I thank you very much for your attention, that you were listening and basically watched the video. Hopefully I will see you very soon. I am kind of coming up with some other ideas that I will be talking about on this channel, and I hope that I will see you in my next video, and until then, I wish you a very, very good day or a good night, depending on when you're listening to it, and goodbye. Bye, beautiful. Oh, also, I can't believe I forgot this one, but when I say this is very important, but when I say that we need to stay on code, I also mean that when there is a black woman that is being dragged publicly as another dark-skinned black woman, don't join the party. Do not go in on her publicly. There's always the option of DMing someone, and whether or not they're going to read it, that's, I guess up to them, and we will just leave it to God. But I will give you a brief example, and then I will be gone. But basically, I am sure that a couple of you guys, or most of you, have heard about what happened a couple of weeks ago with some of, not all of us, of course, but as it feels like some of us just cannot wait to see another black woman, dark-skinned black woman, slip up. It's like they can't wait to see her slip up because they want to drag her so badly. And this goes back to the first point that I made, which was about being a pick-me girl. They're doing it because they want to, I guess, fit in with the black men, think that somehow they will be accepted into the black men club when they're dragging another black woman, because you know that's all that black men seem to be doing online anyway. It is very, very, very embarrassing, and we need to stop doing that. Either stay silent or send them a DM. Just don't do it publicly. Take notes from the other communities. They don't do that. Every time I see this happening, it's a black woman calling out another black woman and doing it in a way that basically opens up the door for every other person to come in and join the party of disrespecting black women as a group. And we need to stop doing it. We need to respect each other before we can demand respect from the other communities. We really, really do. Oh, God. That was a lot of talking. But yeah, that was like the last point that I wanted to add, and I hope that you agree with me. Again, this was an unpopular opinion,